All right, welcome back to another episode of the 12 podcast. This is 12, bringing to you guys another banger, the One Piece manga, chapter 1123, The Void Fortnight. And this starts off with a great chapter opening that has to do with Yamato, Denjiro, and the children that were throwing rocks at Yamato because that was Kaido's daughter or child. The only child, Yamato, is sitting down right now, and Danjiro sentenced them to eat Odin with the person that they hate, and it looks so wholesome. Gotta love that. As we get into the chapter, of course, we see that the giant robot let off this enormous amount of haki that was stored up inside of it that was placed there by the original Joy Boy. Now, the original Joy Boy, we all know, was not a slouch. He was able to go head to head with the five gurus saying even Im Sama, who we see just what their power levels are and the scaling that they are, just how far up they are on the scale when it comes down to it. Now, once this hockey went off, we seen that everybody around who was hostile was now knocked out. So anybody who was around the vicinity, except for those of the Straw Hat crew, and of course the Elbaf Giants, pretty much are all knocked out unconscious. And this right here is the way that they can escape finally, because the hockey sent back the five girls say to Marie Joie inside where they're at, and they can only get there if they're summoned by somebody who's already currently there. We know that's one of the powers that the five girls say has, is that they can have a summoning circle, but they have to have at least one of them present for them all to get summoned to the same place. With everybody knocked out unconscious, we see Dory and Bragi looking on and just thinking to themselves, wow, that might be even stronger than Red Hair's hockey. And there was no hostility to it. That might be a key piece that some of us are missing right there, because the fact that there's no hostility to it just goes to show you that the power of Joy Boy himself was at his most free. And being free and being joyous, you don't need that malice behind you, the malice attempt behind what you want to do. You're going to go directly after what you want because you love doing it. And this is going to become the true power of what we see to be the hockey that went through and knocked out all of the Marines and sent back Gurusei. Now, it's time to set sail. We have Honey hugging her father, Kuma. We see Zoro around. We see that Luffy finally has reverted back to himself, instead of being inside his most free form, which is Gear 5. And of course, we see Chopper and Usopp, especially Usopp, having a time of their lives, because finally, Usopp is going to get what he deserves. Usopp is going to get the Usopp is going to get the much more awaited power up that we've seen him to have, and we know he's going to get, especially because now it's time to set sail to Elbaf. On top of that, we know that Sanji is the one who took Dr. Vegapunk and brought him to safety after getting stabbed, and that sparked up a flashback. The flashback, of course, is of Vegapunk, Pythagoras, and Shaka all sitting around trying to figure out what's going on with everything that's going on 2 weeks ago before on Egghead Island. Because we know that, one, we have a lot of the CP agents, the Cypher Pool agents popping up, and the Cypher agents should not be coming there. So why is that happening? On top of that, you see some of the experiments with the Seraphins, inching upwards, and other things that's going on throughout the time to make it seem like, all right, cool, what the hell is going on? And the biggest thing about it is that some of the Mother Flame was even stolen. The Mother Flame, we know, was used to destroy the kingdom of Lulusia, and because that kingdom was destroyed by the Mother Flame, you kind of put one and one together. You see that Im Sama needed just that little bit that most likely whoever it was provided them with. We all know it was York, but during this time frame, we don't know who it was, because the original Vegapunk, his first thought was, oh, it has to be Lilith because she's evil because all she wants to do is fight people. But no, that's not it at all. Lilith is actually a pretty good person deep down inside, but York, greed is all that is on the mind of that Stella. And with that Stella being there, we know that they cut off majority of their memory so then they won't remember a lot of things, information. With that being said, all the Stellas and Vegapunk are all aligned together. So Vegapunk, Pythagoras, and Shaka all decide, hey, let's keep an eye out right now for what's going on with York and what's going on with the island because the kingdom of Lulusia is now gone and the government knows that, well, Vegapunk himself is actually studying the Void Century because of York. York knows and tells the Guru say this, the Marines, what's going on. And that's why so much Cypher Pool agents have been showing up. So, of course, the closer and closer you get to the truth, the more darker things loom upon you. The world government, nobody knows what it truly is. But of course, Vegapunk knows that since his death is coming, if he must die, it won't be for nothing. Vegapunk starts to go directly into action mode now. He tells the Stellas, he asks them a question and asks them exactly, is what death will accomplish going to be intended to be what we have to uncover for the world? And with that thought process, we look at it as Vegapunk, you have to let the world know now what's going on. So immediately they start recording and keeping things from a secret by turning off their synchronizations to, of course, the Stella so York doesn't find out. Now, as they're recording, things go by smooth. They hide the transponder snail inside, of course, the giant robot that we know they hid it in. And once things were all the way in play and they knew they had this plan thought out, it was time to erase the memory, erase learning about what happened with York and how York portrayed them, erase the fact that they know about the government coming upon them, erase the fact that they know every single thing that's going on the island right now, so York will not find out. But that being said, the memories were erased. Shaka, Vegapunk, and Pythagoras, and this created the ultimate triumph that will happen for, of course, the Stellas and Vegapunk. Now, once Vegapunk wakes up, he realizes that, oh, it's my handwriting, and it reads off, "Good morning, gentlemen. You will find that your memory there is a void fortnight, but it is not done of your own volition. There are many surprises in store for you, but I have to leave you with just this one piece of information. The world government knows about your research in the Void Century. And rest assured, they already put together the perfect countermeasurements before you hurtle towards your glorious death. And one more thing, the Stella, Straw Hat, the Emperor of the Sea himself, and Bonnie have all landed on the island, as well as CP6, and they're surrounded by battleships from the Navy. With those battleships from the Navy come the two members who lead the fleet, and that's, of course, Admiral Kizaru and Saint Saturn. Now, Vegapunk is on full effect to head down off the clouds, but the clouds are a big key that we know will one day help prevent the world from sinking, because the clouds, if we can live upon them, we can float and society can be saved. Because as we know it, this man-made rise of the water is pushing everything up. But we jump back a little bit further into the present almost, just about, where we see Vegapunk talking to Sanji, as Sanji brought in Vegapunk, who's on his deathbed right now. And Vegapunk looks on and just simply tells Sanji straight up, I want your crew be the ones who get the One Piece. As they said that nobody really knows what's going on except for Sanji, even though Sanji was the only person who knew that nothing happened, he now knows this secret that Vegapunk knew, although that Vegapunk wants the crew to get the One Piece because Vegapunk knows that Straw Hat himself, the Yonko, Emperor of the Sea, Monkey D. Luffy, aka the Sun God of this generation, is going to be the one who can activate the One Piece, whatever it is, and truly use it to its fullest potential. I'm really excited about what's in store for this next chapter. We do not have a break for it next week, so there will be one coming out soon. Of course, oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here. We don't know whether or not York is even still alive. What happened during the explosion? We seen that S Snake was around asking, the Marines, "Are you okay?" Because S Snake was still there, was not knocked out conscious, of course. So all the Marines are knocked out. There's only one Stella left, and that's York. Of course, we know Lilith is stored away up on the Elbaf ship, trying to, oh no, on the Straw Hat ship, trying to get the safety that landed there with Zoro. And it's time. We're out of Egghead finally, and it's time to set sail to Elbaf. Usopp's lies have not all been lies, but truths for the future. And man, if we remember some of the stuff he said, he's in store for a lot to come. His great army of 8,000 men. It's not 8,000 men he commands, but he does command quite a lot because of what happened before back in Dressrosa at the Colosseum when he was held up and presented to as the god that he was, as God Usopp took his throne and helped his commander take over a little bit more, a little bit unwanted guests for his fleet. So this is now Usopp's time to showcase what he truly has in store for us. We've been waiting on this for such a long time, but the liar himself becomes the truth. And with that being said, this is 12 finishing up this week's manga review of One Piece chapter 1123. And please, please make sure you guys down below inside the comments dropping in what you expect for next week, or what do you think about this week's chapter that we just had that came out. Yamato, we're looking forward to your cover story to be over with soon. We are on volume 11. I don't know how many volumes that we'll put out for you, but of course, I cannot wait to see Yamato set sail into the ocean to go live out the dreams the same exact way that Odin did. And that being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Make sure you tell us, again, please tell us how you're enjoying the 1216 podcast. We have our 2-year anniversary coming up on the 22nd of August. We're going to be down at Anime NYC, and it is going to be amazing. With that being said, this is 12 officially signing off.